Today, we will show you 10 curious world records that really exist. Included are people who can perform real miracles, but also world record holders who even sacrifice their health. We show you people who can take baths with dangerous animals, and even a woman who can do incredible things with her most intimate part. As always, it remains exciting. So, stay tuned here at Wonderlane. Let us know in the comments in which discipline you could set a world record. We're curious. Let's start our video with number 10, and a man who really goes overboard with his love for animals. We're talking about Jackie Bibby and his passion for rattlesnakes. These earned the man from Texas the name Rattlesnake Man. Why? Because he and his rattlesnakes hold 5 incredible world records. For example, he holds the record for holding the most rattlesnakes with his mouth, a total of 13 snakes. And he has been in the bathtub with 195 living rattlesnakes. That as well is a world record. Bibby even crawled headfirst into a sleeping bag with 24 adult rattlesnakes. It is almost a miracle that the Rattlesnake Man is still alive, but so far the Texan has not remained completely unscathed. Jackie Bibby has already been bitten 12 times and has already lost a finger and a leg due to his extreme hobby. Nevertheless, according to his own statements, he does not think about quitting. On number 9 is Ayanna Williams, who is also from Texas. But unlike the Rattlesnake Man, she is not holding snakes in her hand here, but her own fingernails. The US American has not cut her nails for more than 20 years. In the meantime, her nails are almost 5.8 meters long, and she needs 20 hours and 2 bottles of nail polish to paint them all. However, this is nothing compared to the nails of Sridhar Chalal from India. The retiree had not cut his left hand's nails for 66 years. His fingernails came to a total length of 2 meters each, and they were so heavy that his hand had even deformed. In 2018, the special manicure came to an end, and the then 82-year-old Chalal cut off all of his nails. The nails did not end up in the trash, but in a museum of curiosities in New York. Most people would lose their appetite when they see our number 8, but Frenchman Michel Lotito had a very special favorite food that even got him into the Guinness Book of World Records. The man, nicknamed Omnivore, ate objects made of glass and metal with great passion. In the course of his life, Lotito ate an incredible 18 bicycles, 15 supermarket carts, 7 televisions, 6 chandeliers, 2 beds, 1 pair of skis, and 1 Senna 150 aeroplane. Oh yes, he also treated himself to a computer and a metal coffin. Nevertheless, the Frenchman did not do this only because he wanted big attention. He also suffered from a special eating disorder known as Piker syndrome. Those affected have an insatiable appetite for the most unusual things. They often eat soil, hair, and even glass or metal. Michel Lotito also had a very thick stomach and intestinal wall and cut his food into very small pieces to avoid hurting himself. He eventually died at the age of 57. It wasn't his eating habits that were to blame, but a completely natural cause. Everyone knows the saying, "Make someone beautiful eyes," but the Englishman John Edward Doyle has probably taken the proverb a little too seriously. The man from Liverpool manages to make his eyes pop out of his head in an extreme way. And if that weren't incredible enough, he can do the whole thing for 140 seconds at a time without blinking. That got him into the Guinness Book of World Records, and Doyle hopes his talent will make him famous around the world. By the way, the record holder with the longest stink eyes is the US American Kim Goodman. She has been in the Guinness Book of World Records since 1998 and can curve her eyeballs outward up to 12 millimeters. In a TV program, Goodman once even revealed that her eye even fell out once during the questionable insertion. At number 6, there is also a man with 2 extraordinary body parts. But in his case, instead of his eyes, it's his ears that got him into the Guinness Book of World Records. Why? Because Manjit Singh can pull a double-decker bus 6.10 meters using only his ears. As if that wasn't gross enough, he repeated the whole action first with his hair and then with his teeth. In total, the native of India who has lived in England since the 1970s holds 68 world records. Among them are the records blowing up hot water bottles and making them burst. He is also the world record holder in lifting weights with the eye socket. There he manages an unbelievable 16.2 kilograms. His doctors keep warning him that his actions can cause serious damage to his health, but the record holder doesn't want to hear that. He believes in his fitness and trains daily in his own studio. Now let's move on to number 5, and a woman who has earned money with her looks, but not because she corresponds to the perfect ideal of beauty or is particularly athletic. On the contrary, Vivian Wheeler probably doesn't meet the standards of the beauty industry at all. Instead, she is known for her extraordinary hair, and it's not on her arms or legs, but on her face. The US American has the longest beard in the world. Her beard is 25.5 centimeters long and so impressive that Wheeler toured the USA for 55 years with a curiosity show. Her own father had taken her to the famous Ringling Brothers as a child in 1953 because he couldn't cope with her appearance. Vivian Wheeler still suffers from her father's reaction today, even though she has since come to terms with her appearance and her beard growth. On number 4 is a man who only calls himself Nature MS. The 24-year-old from the town of Kamala in India has set a record with his love for very special animals. Nature MS doesn't love dogs or cats. Instead, he loves honeybees, and he prefers to put them right over his face. In a record attempt, the 24-year-old finally had his entire head and face covered with bees. In total, there were over 60,000 of them, and while most people panic at the sight of a bee, Nature MS managed to stay like this for an incredible 4 hours, 10 minutes, and 5 seconds. However, the 24-year-old actually has a special connection to the animals and has been advocating for honeybees since he was 7 years old. The son of an award-winning beekeeper wants to use the action to draw attention to the worldwide bee mortality and therefore make a good contribution. The woman on number 3 actually looks quite inconspicuous, but Tatiana Kozevnikov from Russia is the strongest woman in the world, at least when it comes to a very special part of her body, in her most intimate place. Tatiana has the strongest pubic area in the world. More precisely, she has the strongest pelvic floor in the world. With the help of her pelvic floor muscles, she can lift a glass bowl weighing 16.5 kilos. That's a world record. She achieved this curious achievement after years of training. Originally, the athlete wanted to strengthen her intimate muscles after pregnancy, but then she just kept going. In the meantime, Tatiana has been training for over 20 years. How exactly the whole thing works is simple. An egg-shaped wooden device is held by the pelvic floor muscles. Weights of any weight can then be attached to the egg. By tensing the muscles, the one remains in place. Meanwhile, she has even published training videos on YouTube to help other women with weak muscles. Let's move on to another woman with a curious talent that you wouldn't necessarily think she had. Jodie Parks from the USA is particularly good at burping. So well that she even set a world record with the loudest burp. She emitted the loudest burp by a woman in 2008. It was measured from a distance of 2.5 meters and a height of 1 meter. Jodie Parks' burp reached a volume of 104.75 decibels, making it louder than a chainsaw or a horn. In Germany, there is also a man who set a curious record with his hobby. Didi Senft from near Berlin is such a man. The 67-year-old is a total bike freak and especially a fan of the Tour de France. The world's biggest bicycle race inspired Senft to build the world's biggest bicycle. It is 7.8 meters long and 3.7 meters high. The wheels are 3.32 meters in diameter, and the bike is actually fit to ride. With this and his 17 other crazy bike designs that got him into the Guinness Book of World Records, he has been going to bike races every year since 1993 and cheering on the athletes. In addition to his bike inventions, his Red Devil costume has also become his trademark. That is why he is also known as El Diablo. Didi Senft is now known all over the world and has performed in China, England, and the USA. That's it for this video. Write us in the comments which record you found the most impressive and like the video if you enjoyed. See you next time, here at Wonderlane.